having come from the Navy and the Navy community, we did things not because we were going to get paid more or get anything back. You just did it because it was a need. And I think that's probably what happened after I retired from the Navy, is I saw there were so many opportunities to help the community, to help veterans, and to help youth. My dad worked at the shipyard. Back then, that was a different time than it is now, and the families were very close. It's in Ohana now, but it was even smaller and closer then. And I remember him doing things for other people, maybe in his shop that he knew, but also people he didn't know that well. I saw my parents say, well, looking around the house, what can we donate? What can we give that will help somebody else? And it was sort of wasn't a big thing. It wasn't called philanthropy, it wasn't called charity. It was just, how can we share of ourselves to other people that may not have as much as we have? Pacific Historic Parks, which runs the Diamond Head Park and is a cooperating association for the USS Arizona Memorial. They were the first board, and I had just retired from the Navy, and they probably thought, oh good, somebody who's a flag officer that can help our cause. And I was so flattered. I thought, oh, this is fantastic. I've been asked to do a board. I had a mentor that said, you should only do boards that pay you. Otherwise, you're going to spend a lot of time and get no money. Well, that's exactly where I am. I have 8 boards where I spend a lot of time, but it's very rewarding for me. Well, the big one is, of course, veterans, and you can see that runs kind of through most of my boards. And the reason is that I didn't even know when I was in the Navy and then when I got out of the Navy that Hawaii has the highest per capita of veterans in the country that live here in Hawaii, and there are a lot of veterans that don't get the services that they need or are entitled to because they don't know. It introduces me to great groups of people that I never on my own would have got to meet. The Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum introduced me to a bunch of people that were in a different community. They were pilots, some Air Force, some Navy, some Marine Corps, but they did a whole different thing in the military. But I got to meet them and figure out their motivations and why they love what they do. And then other, like the World War II veterans that came for the 80th commemoration, I got to meet these people from the greatest generation that, if you called them a hero, they would shun that. And they said, I was just doing my job. I was protecting my buddy. I was protecting my country. And you hear these stories, and that is what's rewarding for me, making those connections with these people that you probably would never have met except for the volunteer work that you do. And the more we can fundraise, the more we can do these kinds of things. It's about doing the right thing. What's right, what's wrong. But I think that's because we just kind of did that, in the Navy, and then coming from a middle-class family, we didn't always have the money to donate money, but we could donate, time and talent. And that is sometimes even more valuable than money because then you put your heart into it, and that's what's really important.